The cupbearer and the baker in the long section, not the short section, so I can comment. That's why I'm doing this Bible study from the beginning to the end, chapter 40. Cupbearer and the baker. Comment as I go, so I can comment properly. A chapter at a time. Again, the cupbearer and the baker, chapter 40 of Genesis. NIV version. Sometime later, the cupbearer and the baker of the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh, offended their master, the king of Egypt. Pharaoh was angry with his two officials, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker. Doesn't say what they did or to anger him, and put them in custody in the house of the captain of the guard in the same prison where Joseph was confined, and Joseph was led to run it. The captain of the guard assigned them to Joseph, and he attended them. After they had been in custody for some time, these weren't real criminals, they just upset the Pharaoh. Sometime each of the two men, the cupbearer and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were being held in prison, had a dream each the same night, and each dream had a meaning of its own. When Joseph came to them the next morning, it's funny, this happened with Daniel interpreting dreams, and now Joseph. How God uses people different times, different ways at each time. Chapter 6. When Joseph came to them the next morning, he saw that they were dejected. So he asked Pharaoh's officials, the cupbearer and the baker, who were in custody with him in his master's house, "Why are your faces so sad today?" "We both had dreams," they answered, "but there is no one to interpret them." Then Joseph said to them, "Do not interpretation belong to God? Tell me your dreams." So the chief cupbearer told Joseph his dream. He said to him, "In my dream I saw a vine, and in front of me and on the vine were 3 branches. As soon as it budded, it blossomed, and its clusters ripened into grapes. Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes, squeezed them into Pharaoh's cup, and put the cup in his hand." "This is what it means," Joseph said to him. "The 3 branches are 3 days. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your position, and you will put Pharaoh's cup in his hand, just as you used to do when you were his cupbearer. But when all goes well with you, remember me and show me kindness. Mention me to Pharaoh and get me out of this prison, for I was forcibly carried off from the land of the Hebrews, and even here I have done nothing to deserve being put in a dungeon." When the chief baker saw that Joseph had given him a favorable interpretation, he said to Joseph, "I too had a dream. On my head were 3 baskets of bread. In the top basket were all kinds of baked goods for Pharaoh, but the birds were eating them out of the basket on my head." "This is what it means," Joseph said. "The 3 baskets are 3 days. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift off your head and hang you on a tree, and the birds will eat away your flesh." Oh boy. Now the 3rd day was Pharaoh's birthday, and he gave a feast for all his officials. He lifted up the heads of the chief cupbearer and the chief baker in the presence of his officials. He restored the chief cupbearer to his position so that he once again put the cup into Pharaoh's hand, but he hanged the chief baker just as Joseph had said to them in his interpretation. Verse 23, the chief cupbearer, however, did not remember Joseph. He forgot him to tell him, as Joseph asked to get him out of prison, that he helped him. But he'll remember later on. The story goes. This is one of the saddest sagas in the Bible, story of Joseph. So that's the end of chapter 40 of Genesis. Okay, bye.